I paid for a kid's groceries when his card declined. 10 years later, he paid for my daughter's surgery. I was 42 and having the worst day of my life when I stopped at the grocery store for milk. I was standing in the checkout line feeling sorry for myself when I noticed the kid in front of me. He couldn't have been older than 16, wearing a fast food uniform with a name tag that said trainee. He had a small cart with the basics: bread, peanut butter, rice, canned vegetables, and a single pack of chicken thighs. Nothing fancy. Survival groceries. The cashier scanned everything and said the total was $42.50. The kid swiped his card. Declined. He tried again. Declined. His face went red and he started pulling items out of his bags, putting back the chicken first, then the vegetables, trying to get the total low enough. The people behind me started sighing, checking their watches. I watched this kid do math in his head, figuring out which items he could sacrifice while still having enough to eat. I stepped forward and handed the cashier my card. "Ring it all up," I said. The kid turned around looking embarrassed and started shaking his head. "Sir, I can't let you do that. I'm fine. I just miscalculated." I told him everyone has rough patches and today was mine too. So let me do something good with what might be my last decent paycheck. He looked at me for a long moment, then nodded slowly. He said, "Thank you, sir. I won't forget this." I smiled and told him to pass it on someday. That's all I asked. He grabbed his bags and walked out, and I figured that was the end of it. Just a small moment of decency in a terrible day. I bought my milk and went home to tell my wife I'd lost my job. We spent that night figuring out how to survive on savings until I found something new. I never thought about the grocery store kid again. Life got busy. I found a new job, then another. My daughter was born 2 years later. Time kept moving. 10 years passed. My daughter Lily was 8 years old when she started getting headaches that wouldn't go away. Our pediatrician ordered tests, then more tests, then a referral to a specialist at the Children's Hospital downtown. The diagnosis came on a Thursday afternoon. A brain tumor. Operable, but barely. The surgery would require a specific pediatric neurosurgeon who only practiced at one hospital 3 states away. Our insurance covered the facility but not the surgeon's fee because he was out of network. The cost was $180,000 out of pocket. We had maybe $40,000 in savings. We refinanced the house and got another $60,000. Family pitched in another $20,000. We were still $60,000 short with surgery scheduled in 6 weeks. I started a crowdfunding campaign. I worked overtime every hour my boss would allow. My wife sold her car and took the bus to work. We were still $45,000 short with 2 weeks left. I stopped sleeping, started having chest pains, couldn't eat. I'd lie awake at night listening to Lily breathe and wonder if we'd have to postpone the surgery until it was too late. 1 week before the scheduled date, I got a call from the hospital's billing department. A woman with a kind voice said, "Mr. Thornton, I'm calling to inform you that your remaining balance has been paid in full." I asked her to repeat that. She said someone paid the $45,000 this morning. The surgery is fully funded. I thought it was a mistake. I asked who paid it. She said the donor wished to remain anonymous but left a note for you. I asked her to read it. She cleared her throat and said the note read, "You told me to pass it on someday. Today is someday. Tell Lily I'm rooting for her." I sat down on my kitchen floor and cried. My wife found me there 20 minutes later, still holding the phone, trying to explain what happened. We had no idea who it was. I called everyone we knew. Nobody admitted to it. The surgery happened on schedule. Lily spent 8 hours in the operating room while we sat in the waiting room holding hands and praying. When the surgeon came out and said he got all of it, that she was going to be okay, I collapsed into my wife's arms. 3 months after Lily came home from the hospital, fully recovered and back to being a normal kid, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single photograph and a handwritten note. The photograph was of a grocery store receipt from 10 years ago, $42.50, with my signature on the credit card slip. The note said, "My name is Jerome. When you paid for my groceries, I was living in my car and working 2 jobs just to eat. That $42 meant I didn't have to choose between food and gas to get to work." I kept that receipt in my wallet for a decade as a reminder that strangers can save your life without even knowing it. I'm a software engineer now. I sold my startup last year for more money than I ever dreamed of having. Finding you took 8 months and a private investigator. I don't need to be thanked. I just needed you to know that what goes around really does come around. Lily's surgery is my $42.50 returned with interest.